Alright guys, well, it's the end of an era on the Skidco channel. I kind of feel like I was one of the first guys really doing a lot of videos with a Yanmar. Besides Andrew Camarada, he's got some older stuff, but I mean with a new machine, I was and I still am very excited and very impressed with this machine. My needs have just changed. And Yanmar as a company, they decided to get rid of a lot of the dealers that were out there, and my dealer just happened to be one of those dealers. I was searching for a new machine. I need something with dual auxiliaries because I've got a shear over here that we need to run at full pressure that I've been waiting to try to figure out a machine so we could run it on. And I'm pretty excited about that, so watch out for those videos. We're going to size up some lines and stuff like that to the new machine. But the old girl's gone. I traded her off and we're getting a Tok. We're getting a TB260. So now I'm part of the family there with Brandon down at Elite Earthworks in Joplin. He's about 3 hours south of me. He's had a TB260 for quite a while. He really likes the machine. Zero problems out of it, so hopefully I've got the same success with it. The reason I went with it, and I'm going to get a whole spec sheet of every machine I looked at. I was looking at everybody, except for I didn't really look at Sani, and I didn't look at Leigong or Leidong or whatever the other brand is. There's a dealer here in town that sells Sani, and now they're selling one of the other brands. I didn't really go that route. I didn't want to go there. But I looked at Hyundai. I looked at Bobcat, obviously Delvan, same as Bobcat, but you can get a pin grabber on it. You can't get a pin grabber on the Bobcats. Go figure. Looked at Kubota, looked at Deere, looked at, I feel like about everybody. I like Deere Hitachi machines. There's no secret in that. I really love a Yanmar, and they do have a 55 with a straight blade, and that's why this machine's leaving. I've got the angle blade. I was an overachiever, and with a Yanmar, if you have the angle blade, you cannot put the dual auxiliaries on the stick. I wanted to still have a thumb on the machine and be able to run full pressure on the attachment so I could run the mulcher at full pressure, whatnot, and we just couldn't do it with this machine. I even went as far as I searched high and low for a grapple bucket. I thought, well, we'll take the thumb off the machine. I'll put my original pin back in it, and then I'll put a grapple bucket on it, with two fangs that clear. I want one on each side that clears the stick. Let's just call it a 30-inch bucket. That's what everybody was saying. That would probably work. $12,000 to $13,000. I don't see it. I can get a bucket for $2,000. We can get some cylinders. Let's just say we're going to spend $1,000 on cylinders. You're telling me the brackets are another $9,000? Anyway, so we don't have a grapple bucket on the machine. I thought about doing that because I really like the machine. It is incredibly dirty right now. Undercarriage got frozen dirt and stuff in it. It's been really cold. I had to do a job, and it was extremely wet. I didn't want to go do it, but they had to have it done, so I went and did it. I haven't even had a warm day to clear it out. Anyways, but I'll go over the prices and everything of everything I looked at. They were making me a really good deal on the 55, but they've got to do some dealer warranty stuff with another company out in St. Louis. St. Louis is about 4 hours away from me. That's the closest dealer. I was afraid if that relationship with them went bad, I'd have to take it to St. Louis, possibly to get it warrantied or anything. I've got two Takeuchi dealers in town. I've got Kirby Smith, where I bought the machine at, and I've got Road Builders. So I felt pretty safe with going Tok over Yanmar. But the Tok has the most flow. They have adjustable pressure and adjustable flow from the screen, which is kind of nice. Factory dual auxiliaries on the TB260. Factory plumb for the hydraulic pin grabber. I've got the factory pin grabber, which is made by Strickland. A buddy of mine, Speedbiter Jeremy, he really likes Strickland stuff, so I trust his opinion on stuff. So I went ahead and went with the Tok coupler on it. You guys will see it here after a little bit. This is a bucket. I don't know if you watch all my videos, maybe you notice it. It's a 36-inch bucket I bought used, and we ended up trying to straighten out the bottom. It looked like somebody had been beating in fence post or something with it. But I thought it'd be a good time just to go ahead and upgrade it and get a new 36-inch bucket. So I'm trading the machine in with a 36-inch bucket. That way I'll have a brand new one. And then all my other buckets, it's hydraulic pin grabber, all my other buckets and grapples and stuff like, or my rake and stuff ought to pin on. But anyways, this machine has 1,300 hours on it. Or well, 1,200 and some change, 1,225 or something. I did the K-string kit. You guys probably watched that on my videos. I may end up having to do a K-string kit on, or I do have to do a K-string kit on the Tok, but I may have to build my own. I don't have pricing for that yet, but we'll see what they end up coming up with. And the only other thing I've ever had wrong with this is we had a button go out for the 2-speed, and they had to replace the handle. Other than that, in 1,226 hours, I have had 0 issues with this machine. It always starts, it always goes to work, never had any problems. Obviously I grease it. I've got grease all over the nice yellow paint, so it looks worse than what it really is. But anyways, it's a sad day, but it's a happy day. We're gonna have a new machine, and we'll try that baby out. It's got a lot more flow, a little more weight. It's minimal tail instead of 0 tail, which is totally fine with me. This machine, as you know, I ended up putting the counterweight on it. I got that from Speedbinder, and it made a world of difference on it. But I am kind of excited to get back into a minimal tail machine, to where, you know, it's already balanced a little bit better than a 0 tail machine. Got a little more track out front, you know, a little bit heavier, a little more horsepower than what this machine has. I think it's got 47 horse. This is 39 horse. This is 20 gallon and some change flow on the auxiliary. The Tok will go up to 27 gallon a minute. It's pretty substantial. Anyways, so watch out for the new machine, but the old Yanmar, she gone. She gone. Alright guys, check out the new machine. Well, there she is. It may look like that boom looks a little bigger. It's because I'm pretty sure it is. I know backing into the shop, I've got to tuck the boom a lot more. Otherwise, I'm going to hit the top of the stick on the shop door. But here's our new machine. It's a brand new 2024 Takeuchi TB260. I went ahead and bought a brand new 36-inch bucket. It's a multi-pin. I kind of felt like maybe the multi-pin might have been a little heavier bucket. And 2, if I do end up getting maybe a bigger machine, I thought maybe I could use that bucket for it. That's the only reason I did the multi-pin. And it was sitting there. I didn't have to order it. They had it in stock. Brand new bucket. I traded in the Yanmar with that old 36-inch bucket that I bought and fixed. So we just got it out the pasture, and we'll just start the machine with a new bucket. But all my other buckets should fit this. It's got the factory coupler on it, which is made by Strickland. And I know, at least from my buddy Jeremy, he definitely likes the Strickland stuff, so I didn't really have a problem with getting the Strickland coupler. So even though I am noticing now, one of the ones I looked at, I guess this is our lifting eye. The other one had actually a hook welded to it, but I mean that's totally fine. I'll put something in the toolbox that we can put a clevis in there and hook right to it and be done. So that's kind of nice. But let's go over the outside of the machine. I don't know how to do everything in the screen yet. I am going to have the salesman out but I kind of want to point out a lot of the features that made me go with this machine over anybody else. I looked at about everybody's machine, and then the salesman's going to come back out and we're going to do a walk around and get, you know, very good information about stuff in the screen, how to set up the auxiliary, all that. But we're just going to go front to back, or back to front. Let's go back to front because we're back here. I think this is the fuel, and I say I think because I looked at so many machines, I don't remember what was what. Yep, there's your fuel fill. I don't know if I necessarily care if it locks or not. It'd be nice if it had a detent button, but it doesn't. This is a little toolbox kind of thing. You can put stuff in there. I probably won't because you have to have the key to get it out. And while we're there, you've got a light. It's not an LED, it's an incandescent, but you've got a side light there, and you have a light on the side of the boom, which is an LED, and then you have a LED in the hood, and then you have an incandescent down in the bottom down in there, which I kind of like the fact that it's got lights on either side. I'm used to having lights up top, so we're going to see how it does with the light on the hood and the light on the side of the boom. If I want to add some lights, I can always add some lights to the top. Anyways, we'll go back to the back and we'll show you. It's already got an antenna, no counterweight. I'm going to start de-stickering it here, I don't know, sometime soon, because I hate all these stickers. And here's your engine compartment, oil fill. I'm letting it warm up, it's really cold right now. Your oil fill, oil filter, oil check. I like the fact that the pump is right there. I can touch the pump. Fuel filter, that's probably pilot. That's probably your pilot filter for the pilot controls. Air filter, radiator pack. This is what I like. So you open this up, and the only reason this is a big deal is I had to put a main pump on my 75, and when I did that, I really liked the fact that I had the control valve up to where I could touch it. I can get to the battery real easy, so that'd be real easy for me to put my battery maintainer. I usually put a little, I left that on my Excavator, on my Yanmar, but I usually put a little deal on there so I can just plug the battery maintainer in it and it's good to go. Here's your toolbox with something in it. Oh, that's the thing for the oil change. And then there's some shims. There's some shims probably left over from the coupler if I had to guess. Here's your, I think that's your pattern changer, hydraulic oil tank. There's your fill line, your sight glass. It's just like a big machine where it's got a tank pressure relief, which is kind of nice. Here's your one-way valve for one-way and two-way hydraulics. Like I said before, filter pack. There's fuel filter, stuff like that. I kind of like this, that everything is in here. I do have to put a K-string kit on this, and they actually make one for this machine, which is nice. And it runs up. I saw a guy put one on. It looks really clean, but I do need to run a K-string up to it, and it may actually tie in like one of these lines in the tank. I don't remember, but it literally runs right through. You can see where all the hydraulic lines come in, so it's going to be super easy to do. Not that the Yanmar was hard, but I don't have to make anything for this to put the K-string kit in it, because they make it. They actually make a K-string kit for the VIO 55. I don't think they did for a 50. I'd have to check with Jeremy. So does it have? I couldn't remember if it had a lock. It's just got the shocks. We do have a bunch of mirrors. I don't know if they're going to stay on, but I'm going to leave them on for now. I'm going to have my wife come out and try to help me get them adjusted. But you've got a mirror on each side of the cab, which those definitely may get ripped off with trees and stuff like that. Maybe not this one, but that one for sure. But I'm going to leave them on for now. And it is a minimal tail machine. It's not zero tail like the VIO was, but I am totally fine with that. I'm never in a situation, or at least most times, I'm not in a situation to where I'm worried about the tail swing. I'm used to running bigger machines that have a lot of tail swing, and we'll swing it over, and in true Jason fashion, we will measure the overhang on the tail. But this has got a little more track just because it's minimal tail. Normally they have more track kind of out in front. I think it's got more track on the ground, so it ought to make the machine a lot more stable. Coming up to the front, everything, you know, your I about knocked my shin off with my blade. Your swing boom bracket and everything's big and beefy, and I mean it's very impressive. You got your little horn down in there. The bottom glass comes out like normal. I'll show you guys the door. The door feels extremely substantial. When you close it and you open it, it is very, very rigid and substantial feeling. This is kind of a nice feature. It's got the, oh, I don't know what they call it. Jeremy will yell at me, but I knew what that was a second ago, but for some reason my brain ain't working, probably because it's 18 degrees. But basically that's just a valve on it to where if you lose hydraulics, it'll lock that cylinder up and you won't have a cylinder slam the ground and hurt somebody. So it does have factory quick coupler plumbing, and I got the quick coupler like I said before, and that's kind of nice. Maybe I can use that boss right there for K-strain. They do have fittings coming out for my auxiliary. This is for your thumb. It's factory with dual hydraulics on it. The main auxiliary, it'll actually go up to 27 gallon a minute, and I think the machine's like 3,450 psi. And then your thumb hydraulics, it's like 11 and a half gallon a minute. So it's fairly substantial flow. It's the best flow that I found out there, to be honest with you. And some of the machines, it's pretty sad. So I don't know how in the heck, how did we scratch my machine? That looks like a brand new scratch. You know me, that's gonna give me some OCD, and we're gonna have to paint that baby up. Anyways, you notice it doesn't have a thumb on it. I'm gonna order a amulet thumb for it. I kept calling it amulet, and the guy there corrected me and said it's amulet, but I am gonna order an amulet thumb. I've already talked to him. It's about 30 days out, so at least we won't be doing a whole lot of grabbing anything until we get our new thumb. But I'll show you guys putting it on, plumbing it in, everything else. There's a sheet they sent me. I wanted to wait till I had the machine. I've got to measure my pin centers and make sure that they have the correct everything for it. But they already knew how wide my coupler was, this, that, whatever. And I wanted to make sure my bucket spacing for my teeth, because I'd like it to mesh with my cutting edge with this bucket and my 24, because normally I run a 24 on it. I got the standard blade just because I don't really use my angle blade a whole lot. I didn't really want to have the extra cost in this. This machine was already pretty pricey, but actually compared to everybody else, it wasn't that bad. It's just after COVID, as you know, everything went up. So I didn't really feel the need for the angle blade on it, so I got a straight blade. They actually had 3 straight blades in stock and no angle blades, so that was a little bit of a driver also. They had this machine in stock at Kirby Smith. That's where I bought it. Look at it now, because stickers going off. You know me and stickers. Like the sticker there, I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Keep a box that far away from a dude, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't even know, but it's coming off. And oh, it shows you that if you move the boom around, you can make a guy do that funny little move. So I don't need to know that. Anyways, stickers everywhere, serial number or their stock number stickers and all that. I don't remember what this little thing is. We'll go over it when the dealer comes over and we do our little walk around thing. But there is something to do with these pins, and I don't really understand how you can take slack out of your pin set, out of your bushings with this castle nut. You pull the cotter key and you can actually tighten this and tension it and take some slop out of your bushings. So I don't know if it's a tapered wedge setup in there or what, but I'll try to figure that out. But you can see the castle nuts on, you know, all the moving parts up there, so you can tighten that stuff up. The undercarriage, I'd say, is as heavy as everybody else. You know, the A-frame and everything, it looks like a well-built machine. Angle blade is pretty stout. I say we get inside because I can't feel my hands. So I say we get inside and we close the door and probably turn the heater on. Very substantial sounding when you close the door. Hang on, I gotta turn this on because I seriously can't feel my hands. Okay. I'm short with short little legs, and it's hard for me to fit into anything. And I fit in this really good. Like, this is the one machine that I sat in and I fit. Like, it felt like they made it for me. Usually I use my foot pedals, so these are very, very comfortable. With it being a minimal tail machine, the cab's bigger. That's a lot bigger than the Yanmar was, which is kind of nice. I got more room. The seat's very comfortable. It's a nice high back seat. We're gonna leave the plastic on it until it rots off, probably. But very, very comfortable seat. I always wanted to get a high back for my Yanmar, and you couldn't get them. You always seen them in pictures, and I'm sure they were the Japanese models. We couldn't get them, but I always wanted kind of a real nice high back seat. Well, I spent a little more money on a machine and I got a high back seat. Pretty good visibility. Nice visibility all around. Like I say, we're looking at ourselves right there in that mirror. That mirror's looking, I don't know, the boom can see itself, I guess, but got a little bitty spot mirror in here, which is actually kind of nice. I didn't think that was really a thing, but a lot of times you could see somebody pass behind you, so that's actually not a bad little feature. I don't mind that at all. So, not that I want to sit there and look at myself, but anyways, let's see. You've got pretty decent room back here. This is your, what you call it? Yep, that's a technical term. That is your fresh air vent or recycle vent. It shows you that little sticker there, which is coming off. You've got glass storage for your tow glass. It goes right here. You do have a coat holder, a hook for your coat if you happen to need to hang your coat up, I guess. But I'm going to use this little area to put camera equipment and stuff because I'm a YouTuber and I always have to have camera equipment. So anyways, off over here we have a vent there, and we have two vents back here, and then we have a vent right here that's sneaky. It's right by your blade control. You've got factory radio already built in, don't have to pay any extra for it. Ignition key, throttle, it's inside the armrest. And then we have all kinds of buttons that I don't know what hardly any of them do. That one's eco. This one is our wiper squirter. What? Hang on. I'm not. Intermittent wiper. Not that that's a big deal, but intermittent wiper, or you can put it on. The lights, we might put it in the shop and turn the lights on and kind of see how it lights up around in the shop, because I can close the door and make it warmer. I would assume, I mean, that's something obviously with my hydraulics. It says auto something. We'll ask Jason when he comes up to do all that. Your first aux, I assume you turn that on and it comes on. I don't know what that little thing means. That's probably the sensor. I know this has overload sensing, so if you're overloading the machine, I definitely don't want that on, because I would probably tell you that I'm going to overload the machine. There's a whole bunch of stuff that the screen does that I don't want to fumble through it and embarrass myself and make it a waste of time. So I'm going to wait until Jason's here, my salesman, and I'm going to have him walk us through it. But you can actually set up, let me see if you can hit it. Oh, so that actually scrolls through the auxiliaries. You can actually set up, I don't remember how many, 4 maybe, and you can set up different auxiliaries in it to do different things. So you can have one set at this gallon a minute, and you can have one set at this gallon a minute, and whatnot. So it's kind of nice. Let's pull some plastic off the blade control. And I'll show you guys it. So obviously it's set up for angle blade also, but if you put your thing down, your operator sensor, it's got switches on both sides because it has dual auxiliary. But I don't remember what was cool about the float. So bring it up, you hit the float button, and it floats. Okay, so now we're in float. And then you pick it up, alright, so what I'm doing there, see if I can get both of them. So it's in float, and it actually shows float up on the screen. So what you do is you can actually pick this up, and you see the blade going, and then I let off of it, and it goes back down. So that's kind of nice. Like if you're grading stuff out, you can kind of pick it up, you can kind of hold it there type of thing and not have to put it back in. Well, then as soon as you let go and release that valve, it floats back down. That's kind of nice. Take it out of float, and then it doesn't do it, So that's kind of nice. I'm pretty sure that with the Yanmar, you cannot get float unless you have the angle blade. The straight blade, you don't have float. So this one, no matter if you have the angle blade or the straight blade, you have float control, which I do actually would rather have float, and I wouldn't so much worry about straight or angle blade, but I do like to have float on a blade. And that is a feature that a lot of the other machines don't have, unless you have the angle blade. But obviously we've got mirrors. We could probably try to do, opening windows, both the windows open. I did listen to the radio. Radio sounds pretty good in it. Let me put you on my hoodie, and I want to let you listen. I don't know if you'll really tell how substantial the glass is, but I want you to hear this. Kind of listen to the click, and listen to, it almost feels heavy. It's just a really, really nice locking in and really nice rolling up door. So, it sits in there real nice. I don't know if you could really tell anything. You can really tell when it comes down. It seems really substantial, like the symmetry or geometry or whatever of the rails. It seems like it works really good. Here's the thing, and that is a thing. As you guys know, a sunshade. Now I don't have to tint the window up there. I kept thinking about tinting my window up there so many times, and it's so easy just to put a dang sunshade in it, and I hardly ever have to look out of that thing, and if I do, I'll release it. But now I can just leave it closed, and I always thought about tinting the window in my Yanmar. Let's run it. Let's run her all the way up so it's 4 RPMs. Well, here, let's run it with the deal out. We got this big old giant bucket, but I fit in the machine really good. It already feels super natural. Seems like we got a lot of reach out, and actually I had a video of reach out on, what did I have here, an SV40, my VIO 50, and a SV100. So I could probably do a reach out, like true reach out, and we could probably go back and see see how far, you know, this machine reaches out compared to the VIO. But I feel like that's kind of straight. We're gonna go dig some footings up at Dad's. I'm building my dad a house now, and we're gonna go dig some footings for it here pretty quick. Well, I kind of like that valve for the swing boom also. The Yanmar did feel like it was a little much. Kind of had to try to feather in it with your foot, and it was a little harder than this one. But let's see how much overhang we've got. Let's get this thing straight. I'd say that's straight with the track and the deal, so I don't think my boom is straight still. Got OCD, if you didn't know. Still don't know if that's straight, but anyways, let's grab a tape measure and see how big a booty Judy's got. Squeeze in here. My shop's got everything under the sun in it right now. It's cold. In the middle of 13 million projects like normal. As you guys know, I've always got entirely too much going on. See, she ain't a big booty Judy. Not real bad. I mean, it's got some overhang, but let's go right in the middle. And I'd say 10.5 inches. I'm shoving my face up against the machine. She hangs over about 10.5 inches. I don't think that's bad at all. I can't tell you how much the Yanmar hangover with the counterweight. Maybe I had that in the counterweight video, I don't know. But anyways, auto idle, obviously it's auto idling. But I wanted to give you guys kind of a walk around and an overview of the new machine. I'm probably gonna do, I think I'm gonna do a separate video and do like comparison on all the other machines that I looked at. I'm gonna have a thumb video, putting a thumb on it as soon as we get in, and then we're actually gonna update our Osmo mulcher, the TFK90. We are gonna repulley it, and we're gonna take the diverter valve off and just straight plumb it right to the motor. Maybe get the windows tinted, but I am pretty excited and trying it out and see what she does. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and kind of saw a little bit of my thought process and a little bit of the walk around on the machine.